Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class in this chapter, that is atoms and molecules, we were talking about the atoms. We have also seen that atoms generally they combine together to form molecules, and when the similar type of atoms they combine together, it will form molecules of element. Similarly, when different types of atoms they combine together, it will form molecules of compound. Here students, we have seen that when the molecules, suppose hydrogen is there and a chlorine, it combines together. So there are two different atoms are there, and when these two different atoms they combine together, it will form the molecule, and this molecule is actually the molecule of the compound. And here also we can say it can be diatomic, it can be triatomic, it can be tetratomic, it can be polyatomic. So generally we can say here that depending upon the number of the atoms attached with it, we can simply give the name to it. Similarly, if the same kind of atoms they had combined together, so the kind of the atom actually tells the atomicity of the given molecule. So we can say here that when the same kind of atoms are combined together, that will form the molecule of element. Again here, it can be monoatomic, it can be di, it can be tri, tetra or polyatomic. This is what that is the molecule of the element. So here it can be H2, N2. So you can say here that since it is 2, 2, then here two atoms are there, and that is why it is included into diatomic molecule, students. Similarly, if we say HCl is there, so HCl consisting of what? Two atoms are there. One is hydrogen, other one is the chlorine. So these two will combine together to form the hydrochloric acid. So on the basis of that, we can say here that both of them are what? Both of them collectively forms the diatomic molecule. Talking about, if you take any of the example like PCl3, so here three molecules of chlorine and one molecule of one atom of phosphorus is there. So it will be what? It is the tetraatomic molecule of compound. Why compound? Because here two different types of atoms are there to combine together. Okay, so this is the things that we have found in the formula of a compound or the formula of the element. Now, talking about the molecule, students, we have seen in case of atomic mass, since the atoms are really very small, so it was quite difficult for us to find the atomic mass of the element. So we use a reference atom, and with the help of the reference atom, we used to compare the mass of the that particular atom with this atom, you can say. So we can say here that since the atoms which is present there, the standard unit which we have taken in order to as a reference unit, that is carbon 12. So this is how we can find the atomic mass of the given, or we are able to find the atomic mass of the element. Now see here, if we want to know about the molecular mass, then the molecular mass is also defined as the molecular mass of the substance is the relative mass of its molecules as well as compared with the mass of carbon 12. taken as 12 unit. So the molecular mass of the substance is the relative mass of its molecule as compared with the mass of carbon 12 taken as 12 unit. Okay, now see. Okay, so this is the definition of the molecular mass of the substance. It is what? It is the relative mass of the molecule as compared with the mass of the carbon 12, which is taken as a 12 unit. In a simple language, we can also write another definition of the molecular mass, and that is the molecular mass is equals to sum of the atomic mass of all the atoms present in one molecule of the substance. One molecule of the substance. Okay, so molecular mass is what? It is actually the sum of the atomic mass of all the atom which is present in the one molecule of the substance. So we are going to understand this concept, that how we are able to find the molecular mass of a given substance. So let us try to understand how to find the molecular mass with the help of some of the examples. So, suppose here H2O is given. So, what is how to find the molecular mass of the water here? So, what we are saying that if a given substance is there, simply we have to add all the atomic masses of the given atom. So, here hydrogen is given. So, the atomic mass of the hydrogen is what? That is 1. Now, how many atoms are there of the hydrogen? That is 2. So, we will multiply it with 2 plus oxygen. So, atomic mass of the oxygen is 60. Here, one more thing I want to add you people, that is you must know the atomic mass up to 20. Means up to atomic number 20. So, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. These are the 10 elements. It means these are the 10 elements of the different atomic number, and you have to learn the atomic mass of these elements as well as up to, means not only up to 10 but up to 20. You must know the atomic number, symbol of the element as well as the atomic mass of the element, because once you will be able to tell the atomic mass, it will be quite easy for you to find the molecular mass of the given substance. Now you see here student, how many atoms are there in the hydrogen? That is 2. And what is the atomic mass of the hydrogen? That is 1. So 1 into 2 plus 16. This will be equals to 18U. So molecular mass of water is 18U. Similarly, if the question is asked, that is calculate the molecular mass of sulfuric acid. So, for calculating the value of a sulfuric acid, we must know the formula of a sulfuric acid. This is what? This is sulfuric acid, which is represented by H2SO4. Now, the formula of H2SO4, the mass of the, how many atoms are there in a hydrogen? That is 2. And what is the atomic mass of the hydrogen? That is 1. So, it will be equals to 1 into 2 plus. This is for the hydrogen. Okay, the number, what is the atomic mass into atomic number plus then sulfur. So sulfur, atomic mass of sulfur is 32 plus atomic mass of oxygen is what? That is 16. So we will write here 16. Now into the number of atoms of oxygen are there, student, that is 4. So we will write here 16 into 4. So now it will be 2 plus 32 plus 64. It means 16 into 4 is equals to 64. Now when you add all of them, it will becomes 34 plus 64 or 98U. Actually, when we talk about the U, student, U is nothing. It is the atomic mass unit or molecular mass unit. We used to represent it by U or we used to represent it by G. Doesn't matter. Okay. So the formula of the this is how we can find the molecular mass of the given substance. Now let us try to understand some of that. What is the significance of the symbol or the significance of the formula of the substance? Significance of formula. Significance of formula. So let us see what is the significance of the formula, student, of a substance. So formula represent, the first one is formula represents the name of the substance. The name of the substance. The formula, it represents the name of the substance. The second one, the formula also represents one molecule of the substance. So formula represent one molecules of the substance. Formula also represent one molecules of the substance. You see, in general, if we talking about H2O, student, that is water. So here, formula of water is H2O. So H2O is representing the name of the substance. Why? By seeing the formula of H2O, what is this? If anybody asks to you that what is this? Then what is this H2O? You will say it is actually representing water. So the name of the formula, the name of this particular substance is water, and water is represented by the formula that is H2O. Here we can also say that H2O is representing the one molecule of water. Okay, so it helps in representing the name of the substance as well as it also tells the molecule of the substance. So one molecule of substance is represented by the H2O, which is called as water. Next one is formula gives the name of all the elements present in the molecule. So formula gives the name of all the elements present in the molecule. So formula generally tells the name of all the element which is present in the molecule. Look at this one, student. This is what? This is water. So with the help of the water, you can say how many different elements are present in the water. So hydrogen is present here and oxygen is there. So with the help of the formula, you can tell the number of the atoms which is present in it. Hydrogen as well as oxygen both are present here. So we can say here that the formula has been representing the different types of element present in the molecules. Formula also tells the number of atoms present in each of the molecule. So, formula gives the number of molecules, number of atoms of each element present in the molecule. So formula, it help in giving the number of the atom of each element present in the molecule. Hi student, with the help of this formula, you are not only able to tell that it is water, you are not only tell the kind of element which is involved here, but yes, you can also tell the number of atom of hydrogen as well as the number of atom of oxygen. So hydrogen, how many atoms of hydrogen are there? So 2 atoms of hydrogen are there. 2 atoms of hydrogen. And oxygen, 1 atom of oxygen is there. So 2 atoms of hydrogens are there and 1 atom of oxygen. You can take any of the example student. There you will find that the number of atoms in the given molecule is represented by the formula. Now the formula also help us in telling the definite mass of the given substance. Formula represents a definite mass of the substance present in it. So with the help of the formula, we are not only able to recognize the kind of element or the atom, but we are also able to find the definite mass of the substance also students. So we can say here that, see, what about the H2O? So H2O is what? Here, when you look at the mass of the H2O, it is always 18 gram or 18 U. So we can say here that with the help of the formula, we are also able to find the definite mass. Now you see students, here we have seen that the molecular mass is also find out with the help of the formula. So if we are knowing the formula of anything, we will be able to find the mass if we are knowing the atomic mass of the particular atoms present in the molecule. So these are what students, these are some of the significance of the formula. Let us move on and we will see the another kind, and that is called as ions. Ions. Ions is what? An ion is partially or. So let us try to understand about the ion students. Generally an ion is what? It is an ion, and an ion is an electrically charged particle. Electrically charged particle. It is an electrically charged particle. So basically what happened, before we go and understand each of what is an ion and what are the different types of ions are there, students. Generally what happened, atom is what? It is electrically neutral. Electrically neutral, it means it do not have any kind of a charge. But what happened, sometimes in order to gain stability, it used to lose electron or it used to gain electron. And in that case, a student, it becomes the charge. It means it gains the charge or in the positive or in a negative way. Okay, so we can say here that generally an atom is what? Electrically neutral. An atom is electrically neutral. And atom can be a proton by losing electrons. Atoms can be an electron by losing electron. Can be a proton or can be an electron only. Actually, we can write here that atom have both, have equal number of proton and electron, but it loses or gain electron. Now let us see what happened when it loses electron, what happened when it gains electron. So when an ion or an atom, it loses the electron, it will become positively charged, which we also call as cations. When an atom loses electrons, it will get positively charged particles called cations. It will get positively charged particle that is called as cations. So we can say here, so like suppose student Na is there, so Na, suppose it loses the electron, so it will become Na plus, one electron it is lost by the Na, so it will become Na positive. So here we will say that sodium is what? It is actually sodium ion, which we also call as cation, because we said that the positively charged particle is cation only. Okay, so what does that mean? That a cation has less number of electron than atom. So the number of electron present in the atom and the number of electron generally a cation have. Cation, it loses the electron, so obviously it is having the less number of electrons than an atom have. Okay, so we can say here that here it loses -1 electron. Okay, it loses the electrons in it. Generally, all the metals, they are electrically, they are positively charged. It means they used to lose the electron. So we can say here that Generally, metals have positive charge, thus they act as cations. Thus they act as cations. If an atom loses one electron, it will gain one positive charge. It will gain one positive charge. It will gain one positive charge, but if an atom loses two electrons, it will gain two positive charge. Not only this, student, if more than that, 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, it will always gain the positive charge. It will always remain the cation only. What happens when the substance or when the atom gains the electron? So when it gains the electron, it will become negatively charged particle, and that we call as anions. So we can say here that an atom gets converted to anion by gaining electron. So when it accepts electron, it is called as negatively charged particle. So it becomes negative charge after gaining the electron. What is the example, students? So we can take any of the example like chlorine. If suppose we will take an example of a chlorine. So chlorine is what? It is 17. So chlorine need one more electron. So it will accept one more electron. Here it is gaining one electron, students, and it will become chloride ion Cl minus. Okay, we can take any of the examples. So it is plus one electron is added in that of the chlorine atom, due to which it get converted into chloride ion. So here again, if it accept one electron, so the object, the element of the atom will gain the one negative charge. If more, the atom will gain the two negative charge. Like suppose 2 negative charge in the when it gains 2 electron. More than that, the same kind of a charge will also be present there. Like in case of oxygen, oxygen used to accept 2 electrons, and due to which the charge that you will find out here is O2 minus. So we can say here that the number of the electrons gained by it will decide the negative charge present on it, and that negative charge is called as anion. Okay, so we can say here that cation. So most of the non-metals are generally anions. They are generally anions. Okay, so when it loses one of the electron, then it will become minus 1, but when it loses more than one electron, it will become minus 2. Similarly, if you move, and 3 minus is also there when it loses the 3 electrons in it. Okay, so this is how we can say that ions are the charged particle having the positive charge or the negative charge. Thus, we can say that there are two different types of ions are there.